Welcome back to Mogcast, everybody. This is Mog once more here. We're playing some Kerbal Space Program today, going up on episode number 8. We're going to do, bringing up a new kind of module to the Mun surface, I guess. We're going to be going after that, where we just landed our other rover in the last episode, the deluxe rover, the Keiko rover, whatever we ended up naming it. I think it was the Keiko rover. We went ahead and we're going to be launching this up to the same site on the Mun, so it's going to be basically another building at that site, and we're going to be making that our first base in this campaign. So we're getting our orbit all set up, you can see, setting up our maneuver to get out to the Mun now, and I've definitely been cutting through a lot of this, because, once again, you guys have seen a lot of this in the previous episodes, pretty much the last friggin' 3 whole seasons. This is season 4. Going in here now, and it's been a lot of Kerbal Space Program and a lot of launches, so I'm sure you guys are sick of seeing them from me. And then again, if you guys like seeing them, just drop a comment below. I mean, I'm always open to doing things that you guys actually like to enjoy watching, so let me know, and I'll continue to try to strive for what you guys want to see, basically, is what I'm trying to tell you. Now, getting all in here, we're setting up our final maneuver nodes to actually make our capture into the Mun orbit. We're going to be slowing down our top speed there, our orbital velocity, down to enough of a slow that it'll actually just kind of get pulled in at that orbit around the Mun. That's the general idea behind setting this up now. You get a nice little pretty shot there of me floating kind of silhouetted against the surface of the Mun and the sun in the background. Kerbal. We're doing our burn here, getting all a little bit angled in there so that we should come down kind of close to the site. And as you can see, that little dot below, it's actually hitting a little bit right now. A little purple node down there right on the surface of the Mun. I'm going to be targeting it here pretty quick, and it'll brighten up and actually show a distance. Once I do that, you can see it's green now. It's actually been targeted. There should be another kind of purple one behind it because there's actually other objects there still. But you know what I mean. You see it down there. We're coming into the surface now and using up that last little bit of fuel in this landing module. We're going to be breaking that off here. There it goes. Sorry, that's a little loud, isn't it? I'll try to quiet that down. I'll remember to do that. And you can see that we've still got a drop tank below these rockets. Once you get a lower angle on this, it'll actually show it a bit better. But the idea here was I thought I'd be using a lot more of the fuel during the transfer and all of that. I'll be having to quiet this down too. Jeez, forgot how loud rockets can be. They sure do produce a lot of sound and volume on here. Firing some more rockets here for our landing bursts. But that drop tank below, we're gonna be dropping it with still a lot of fuel in it. It's unfortunate. Yeah, like I said, I thought that we were gonna use more fuel getting out here. I figured we dropped that larger tank well before we got down to the surface of the Mun, and we dropped it when we were just coming down already. So I had a lot of fuel left over. We're gonna have to drop this one. We can't keep it on here for fuel. We're gonna have to drop it if we want to land the way it's designed to land. So we got about 3 kilometers to go before we're going to be landing at the Keiko rover. Getting close though. Now you might notice on the top of this rocket there's a small module, and you're going to get a better view of it as we kind of land and get change up the viewpoints. There's a module right on top that's a small, basically probe that basically has that junior coupler on top and a standard docking node below it. The reason for this is I needed to design something that I could put in place on the old lander so that I could actually dock the new deluxe Keiko rover into it so I can refuel its fuel tanks when necessary. Because currently we don't have a way to fuel it. So once we've used a lot of its fuel, we won't be able to fire up those rockets any longer on its sides. We'll still be able to drive it around, which is fine. But I'd have to be a lot more conservative on how I go about things without having those extra rockets and that extra kind of just line of defense against being destroyed when you get caught driving down like a big old hillside or something, flying straight down the side of a crater, you know. It's going to be a lot easier to just jump with the rockets down into it and then kind of just use those rockets to slow yourself for a landing at the bottom. Driving down the side of craters is super dangerous. 400 meters, or a little under 400 meters, getting close to 350. I'm trying to adjust. You can see me kind of wobbling around here. Some of that's losing control. Some of it is trying to re-angle how I'm coming down and where I'm coming down. So I'm trying to angle that. You can watch on the nav ball, the green X there, the retrograde marker, is getting closer to the purple. That means it's getting closer to what we have targeted. So I'm going to be coming in at an angle toward it. So I'm basically closing the distance horizontally between us. And we just dropped that tank, and there it goes. It's going to be still high enough where it should break and blow up on impact. So that's what we're after. We still got pretty much full tanks on here because we were using fuel from the drop tank first before. Yep, there it goes. Boom goes the dynamite. But yeah, so the design's gonna work. The engines are actually pretty large, high-powered rockets for how small this ship is in comparison, but I wanted to make sure that I had good, powerful rockets on this thing because it is a base. So I want to make sure that we would have the stability and the power to move it around with ease if need be, which we do achieve here. So bringing this thing down, we're going to be readjusting and all of that kind of as we go and get this thing right into place. It's going to be a little bit of a delicate operation because this thing is pretty big. It doesn't tilt all that quickly. So kind of nudging it over closer to these other structures is a little bit of a tricky situation to do. It's not that bad. I've gotten pretty used to it in the past, but I really like this little, gosh, the design of the lights just kind of spit out there on the surface. I think that's really cool. I like changing the colors to that teal. I don't know why, but that teal color is just, I love that color. That and orange, the two colors I've tended to use on our logos and all that. So what we're going to be able to do now after we kind of detach this top piece is we have to fly it. I tried to do like a little course. I set one up for myself when I built that probe on top with one of those detachable launch clamps. And whoa, correct that angle, jeez. With one of those launch clamps and a couple of struts coming off it with different sized nodes on different positions, and I was trying to basically dock it into it, and it's really tough to control. So I have hopes that I'm decent at this, but we'll see. And I actually, it'll be part of the next episode because if I can actually figure out the file, it was giving me issues and kind of came out a bit corrupted, so I don't know entirely if I'll be able to salvage the end of the actual probe bit of this video, because it's actually not on this one because of the corruption. I just figured I'd put the video together as is. But there was some probe footage. If I can get the file to work, I'll be able to actually get it in a video. If not, you have my apologies in advance. We'll be doing some more probe-based stuff in the near future, I'm sure, as we kind of start getting out toward other places, especially places like other planets in the solar system. So that's going to be kind of the next goal, is getting out to there. We could hit Minmus a bit, drop a rover, Keiko rover on Minmus. We certainly could do that. The ship should have enough fuel to actually do it as is. We just have to make sure we have enough money. So I probably need to go on a contract spree one of these days soon, putting out all of the last of the solar panels to make sure this thing's kind of all in place, getting that all set up. Now this thing's pretty well positioned, and we'll be able to start thinking about what else we want to bring up to this base. I'm considering bringing up some other probes, some other maybe rover type stuff, maybe another base building of some sort. Once I get some more parts, that's going to be kind of where I want to expand this base. Right now we have what we need. You can see kind of in the middle there, on the bottom of the stack in the center, it's that mobile processing lab. So as long as we have two scientist Kerbals in there, they can work on rock samples that we bring back, and then we'll be able to send them out back home for science reward at a little higher rate than we would be normally if we didn't have the lab. Now there's also a hitchhiker container above it for 4 more capacity for crew, and that Mark II pod up top that gives that capacity for 4. Gosh, that's so weird to actually hear your Kerbals breathing now when you're in EVA mode. I'm so not used to that. There's been a lot of changes now. Different Kerbals have different jobs, and apparently you can kind of like level them up and skill them up in those abilities, because I was trying to repair a tire while testing one of the, I think the rover, the Keiko rover, and I kept popping a tire, but I wasn't able to repair it because my engineer didn't have any skill in it. I guess you just have to kind of work at it for a while and kind of get that going, but we've got everything positioned, and I think we're going to go ahead and call it here. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching these videos and clicking that like button if you enjoyed what you saw. And until next time, guys, cheers.